Welcome again to Maths by Mansour. Today's topic is subtraction. I'm going to start with 175, take away 52. As with addition, perhaps the most important thing here is to make sure that all your columns align. So your units, tens, and hundreds all align. Otherwise, you're going to be making a mistake immediately. So if we start with the 175, so the hundreds column, then the tens, and then the units. Now here, I'm going to make sure I start with the units to ensure that the correct columns are lined up. So with 52, I'm going to put the 2 under the 5, which was a unit, and the 50 here, which is the actual value of that 5, the 50 under the 70. So now we can begin subtraction. Another important aspect of subtraction to note is that actually you have to start from the top. With addition, I know some students get into a bit of a lazy habit of adding in any order that they want, which is okay with addition. With subtraction, you have to start from the top. So 5 subtract 2 is 3. And 7 subtract 5 is 2. Now the 1 is the hundreds column. So here we're going to assume there's 0 hundredths. So 100 take away 0 hundredths is 100. I should have perhaps noted that the 7 is in fact 70 and the 5 is in fact 50. So 70 take away 50 is 20. Just try and think about mathematics and the value of digits in the correct manner, just to help you with your mental maths too. So that is the final answer to that. Now I've got you a question to try. So have a go at 234 minus 121. Feel free to pause the video. And okay, so here we go, 234. Making sure the columns are aligned. I'm going to start with the units of 121. So the 1 under the 4, the 20 under the 30, and the 100 under 200. Now we can subtract, starting with the units again, and at the top, 4 take away 1 is 3, 3 take away 2 is 1, and 2 take away 1 is 1. Now before you attempt the next question, there is actually a particular situation in subtraction where you won't be able to subtract immediately. So I'm going to address that now. Take the number 11, and we are trying to subtract 5 from that number using column subtraction. Now, if you notice, if we have to start at the top, the 1 is in fact smaller than the 5. So subtracting it would take us into negative numbers. And if you don't understand that, there's a whole separate video about that. So please feel free to watch that. So to address that problem in column addition, we actually can borrow from the next column. So we're going to convert the unit 1 into 11 by borrowing 10. So that's now 11. I've essentially borrowed 10 from the tens column, which means I have 0 tens left there, giving me 11 to work with. And now 11 subtract 5 is in fact 6. And the next question is going to be full of these, so feel free to have a go at that to try and understand it further. Okay, your job is now to subtract 413 and 257. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, so again, start with the bigger numbers, so 413. With the 257, we will start with the units to make sure all our columns are lined up. So here we've got 7, here we've got 50, and for the hundreds we have 200. If we now start to subtract that, what you should have noticed immediately was that actually 3 take away 7 is not possible for now. We don't want to go into negatives with column subtraction. So you immediately had to borrow from the tens column. So we're going to turn that number into 13 by borrowing 10. which makes it 0 in the tens column. I have no tens left. Now 13, take away 7 is in fact 6. And for the 0, take away 5, again, we've got a problem in that there are 0 tens and I need to remove 50 from that. So I'm actually going to borrow 100. I'm going to turn this into 3. Give me 300, which then gives me a 1 to put with my 0 to turn that into a 10. So I've actually borrowed from my hundreds column to turn my digit into a 10 instead of 0. So now I can do 10 subtract 5. Gives me 5. And 300 take away 200 is 100, which leaves me with a final answer of 156. Okay, thank you. That's the end of subtraction.